Oh, stop.
I think that's the first time we said we did 15 minutes and we did 15 minutes.
We're getting better. Okay, we are back in public session. While we were in executive session, we discussed the labor issue regarding Mike Nortier,
No, not already Ken.
pardon, and Ken. We discussed two items. Good. Yep. And no decisions were made, and no action taken. At this time, Matt, would you lead us through this issue with Mike Nortier, the future executive director?
Okay. The last meeting, Mr. Nortier was selected as the apparent successful applicant for our executive director job, and the action was taken for me to start negotiating the contract with him. So my negotiations with him have been explicitly on the revision that the board hasn't approved anything, so some of these items I'm going to walk through are open for discussion. At the end, if we have an agreement on the terms, I would entertain a motion to authorize the board chair to sign an agreement for Mr. Nortier's employment subject to his approval of the terms. So if there is something he doesn't agree with in the final document, he would of course have the opportunity to present that to the board, but based on my negotiations, I don't anticipate that. So he took my standard form and just asked for a couple of modifications, which I incorporated all three, so that's why I'm confident there won't be any difficulty with this. I guess first and foremost, we're offering employment for $120,000 a year. That'd be subject to a 6-month probationary period, which is standard. At the end of the probationary period, if he was ever terminated at will, which is under Washington law, we can terminate him for any reason. So if we did terminate him for any reason when he was willing to work, he would be entitled to a 3 months severance pay, which is fairly standard for public employment. Both he and Island Transit would reserve the right to terminate the other party with 30 days notice. He is entitled to reimbursement for mileage. Employee benefits would be the same as all other Island Transit employees, with 2 provisos. One, he wants to start with 40 hours of accrued vacation, and he wants to begin accrual of vacation at the rate of 15 days a year. Finally, his performance will be reviewed every year on his anniversary, so roughly the end of April of every year, at which time salary and benefits can be revisited. It's pretty standard, very easy to negotiate with.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions?
All other benefits, medical, all that, same as the standard package?
Standard, whatever the non-representative receives.
Okay. And this, these notes from Mr. Nortier were also emailed to us.
Right.
Now, that's the labor contract through council. Tell me, is that public records?
Well, will be once it's
Once
you discuss it in a meeting. That's
okay. That's for your benefit, Jesse.
Okay, so
again, any action we take is basically our offer of these terms to him,
Right.
subject to his approval. But as I said before, I don't anticipate an issue with that.
So I will entertain a motion at this time to consider the contract as presented and negotiated through our counsel, Matt Hendricks, with Mr. Nortier.
I make that motion.
Can I ask a point of order before I second? I
Sure.
thought we were moving to authorize the board
Chair to sign, yeah,
to sign. So
Yes.
we need to make a motion to authorize the board chair to sign the executive director agreement for Mike.
As negotiated, correct.
All right.
Now I'm going to second.
Now you're going to second it. Thank you very much. Any further discussion?
It's Do we need a start date on that?
It'll be effective May 2nd.
Yeah, there we go. Good point.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries unanimously. All right, now, we have a administrative mechanics issue. This is not your kind of mechanics, this is an administrative mechanical thing. It creates a gap between the contract that Ken Graska has and Mike Nortier's contract. And we have to have somebody in place as the contact person during that period of time and to help Mr. Nortier with the transition. And it was discussed to appoint Meg as that contact person to collect any questions on a daily basis for a 1-month period from April 15th till May 15th. That gives some overlap between Nortier and Ken. And you would be the contact person for collecting administrative guidance or needing contact stuff. And you would be at the, Ken would be available for you to contact him, and for legal issues, anything that you feel that you need to go through Matt, go through Matt too. That way we don't have to have boards involved and all this kind of stuff. The transit system can roll right along. You're nodding your head, yes, thank you very much that you agree to do that. There's no...
Wait, Mr. Chair, just real quick for clarification, may I? Okay, for starters, Ms. Heppner will be a point of contact to get questions answered via Mr. Graska for a 2-week period until Mr. Nortier takes the reign as executive director. Then Mr. Nortier will be able to contact Mr. Graska directly. And this would be for a period of 1 month running up through April or May 15th. So that would allow 2 weeks of consultation time directly between the new executive director and the outgoing executive director. Meg is just an administrative contact for this 2-week gap.
Which is no different than what her job is right now.
Right.
And I thought that's where I was going with this.
So you were
Thank you very much.
going on about a month. Anyway, I would make a motion.
Oh, well, I'll give you an opportunity to make a motion.
You not
Hang on for a
continue it?
second. Do you have the motion written down for our discussion? Where we're
I
going?
don't, because I was actually listening to you guys.
But you're
That doesn't-
agreeable to be the
There's
contact
no
person?
motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
where we were going.
Yes.
That was-
You don't need a motion for that. so-
Okay.
What I was going to do was make a motion that we offer a contract to Mr. Ken Graska to be a point of contact, administrative point of contact on call for the period of April 15th through May 15th in the sum of $3,000.
I'll second.
There's a motion made to have Mr. Graff to be on call for a lump sum of $3,000 for a 1-month period, starting April 15th to May 15th.
Add just a couple of legal things. For consulting services, not an employment arrangement,
Right.
and no further benefits, just a flat.
Okay.
And technically probably April 16th, since I will be here April 15th.
Oh, okay, 16th then.
Okay. Now let's make sure we got it for the record correct. Meg, can you read that back to us, please?
Rick made a motion to authorize Ken Graska to act as the administrative point of contact from April 16th through May 15th for the lump sum of $3,000. No additional benefits.
Okay. You're satisfied with
All
that, Meg?
Okay.
All right, so there's a motion by Mr. Hanover for that compensation for Mr. Graff during that period of time, and a second by, I lost who got the second, Jill.
If you'd enter into an on-call consulting agreement.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I was
Yeah.
gonna have a
All right.
question about the language that says administrative, what was it that you said, Meg?
No.
Administrative point of contact.
It's just an on-call consulting
Okay,
agreement.
because when Mike Nortier starts,
Right.
then he would be using Ken as kind of historical touchstone and a resource, but Mike's decisions would be the administrative
Right.
decisions. In the interim period before Mike, Ken's decisions would be to work, that's clear in the language. You got that worked out. Or in the contract. And then are we authorizing the
Oh.
chair to sign that contract?
Yes, authorizing the chair, add that to the motion. Authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Mr. Ken Graska,
All right,
solving order.
we've got all the pieces worked out at
Yes.
this time. I think so. Any further comments or discussion?
I just appreciate Mr. Graska's willingness to provide that additional resource to our incoming executive director, as well as cover those 2 weeks. We've kind of tapped him to extend a few times, and it's, so I appreciate that flexibility, and also the ability to work with us on the rate that we're able to pay, so thank you.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
Because I don't believe Mr. Graska is going to be here for our next regular meeting, physically here.
Oh,
So, this time I just want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for you helped this agency through a very difficult time, and I firmly believe that we're a much better organization today, and it's a direct result of you. So thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
I would second
And I would second.
And good luck to you in your next endeavor.
I wish we could give you a
It's only
watch,
been for a
but I don't
while.
think that's.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion here, and we're going to move this one along. Call for the question here. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? It's unanimous that we have this agreement. Thank you for your cooperation too. Now it's pretty clear about how we're going to transition to the next phase. Ken, special thanks to you. It's been a pleasure working with you. This was new to me, obviously, and a lot of parts are still very new to me. And you helped me through this.
Yeah.
Patience and your commitment to reestablish, help us reestablish on the transfer financially.
I appreciate the board's support, both professionally and personally. Appreciate that.
Okay?
when's your last day? I'm sorry. And when's your last physical day in Island County?
Friday morning, however, I will be in a morning meeting with farmhouse skating. The last farmhouse skating meeting. Till noon, and then I'll be back here in the afternoon.
Okay.
Is this coming Friday?
Yeah, 15. Better have your tax return in too, huh?
No, you guys need to.
Yeah, you get to the 18th this year because of,
Some holiday in DC. City.
They have holidays that we don't have?
yeah, it's something special. It's like
What?
What is?
I know.
it's National Apple Fritter Day or something. I don't know.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Adjourn.
All right,
Second.
and we're adjourned.
The motion and the second.
Well, good.
I've got
Good meeting.
a quick and dirty one pager to you. Great, what's up?
Are you gonna put that presentation online?
Just want to personally say how sorry I am. Get along out here.
About an hour, because you're gonna be off the paper.
If you.
This won't work.
Let's just have a question.
So,
Oh, yes. And you did tell
to
me.
your last meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Everything was here already.
Yeah.
So if there'll be, like putting the money in. So we'll want that exact change or?
No
That day.
So good.
I'm sorry I caused on
That was something that we wanted to do.
She's doing great.
We're using the cash boxes.
very
You
good.
learn to adapt,
Yeah.
adapt quickly to
So, they'll actually end up costing the transit that $50,000. Because the grant doesn't, we'll cover that.